What I really hope is that tools like this will re-engage people back into politics. People like me, in fact, who don't care too much about the comings and goings in the Westminster Village and party politics, may well care a huge amount about particular policy areas and have some suggestions and ideas of things I'd like to see happen after the next election. So hopefully this is a way of channeling that interest and pulling it together so that we can document what people think about issues rather than whether or not they like particular politicians. I'm sure there'll be plenty of that in the rest of our election coverage. I'm sure there'll be lots of sound and fury of the Tories said this, or Labour said this, or the Lib Dems said this. Hopefully Debate 2010 will offer us something slightly different, be a view of what voters actually care about.
And you're hoping it will become big enough that it will have some resonance in Westminster, is that right?
Yeah, certainly I hope politicians are listening, but I hope politicians are listening to all sorts of things on social media and what's going on online, because I think there's a massive resource there for them to understand their voters a bit better. We didn't build this site for politicians, we haven't pitched it to politicians yet. Tonight you're getting a bit of a sneak view. It's being more formally launched tomorrow morning, but the idea is to listen to what ordinary people, if you like, the likes of you and me, think about different policy areas. What politicians choose to do with that information may well impact what we think about them, but I'm not going to sit them down and force them to look at it, but I think it would be good if they did, and I think it would be good if they got involved online generally. We keep hearing about it being the first digital election. I'm not sure how much of an impact it's going to have compared, say, to television, which is certainly going to have a huge impact. Technology is evolving all the time, but I think the potential for people to make their voice heard online is there. The question is whether politicians will listen to that, and that's a big unknown. And thankfully I don't work for politicians, I have to make them listen. I just try and do that with journalists. So.
Maybe you could put it as a debate on the site.
Exactly, yeah. How should we make politicians listen to the public?